Hey, so today we are going to be painting a really fun project. We are going to take our whimsical mason jar. Y'all know this is one of my favorite shapes to paint on. A lot of times you don't need a fancy specific shape to make a really fun art project. Sometimes you just need to see an everyday shape and turn it into something new. So y'all know me, every once in a while I'll like to bring out a tried and true shape, a classic shape, one of my go-tos, and we like to make it into something fun. So today we're going to make this, which we've turned this into many things before. One thing being a lemonade, like we've done this multiple times, but today we're going to turn them into a really cute, kooky, quirky little scarecrow. Look how cute he is. And we're going to make him in ornament size. This is about a 5-inch whimsical mason jar. You can find the mason jar cutout over at Home Creations. I can link it down in the comments later on. If you put the word scarecrow in the comments, I'll come back after the live is over and I'll link all the things that you could possibly have a question for, as far as where do I get this or where can I find this. Just the word scarecrow is your magic word of the day. But as we chit chat, let me go ahead and get started. Now I kind of freehanded a couple of things. I always keep this shape printed out at all times so I can kind of doodle. And so what I did was I took this shape and I kind of drew a loose hat, some eyes, a nose, and a little squirrely mouth. And he has so far has just become so stinking cute. Our first step in painting him, though, will be painting his face and his nose, painting his face and his hat. So if you have any questions, feel free, put them down in the comments. If you have, if you want to know where we got anything, put the word scarecrow down in the comments. And so, oh, it's an ornament. You were right, Marie. You were right. So it is an ornament. I love painting ornaments. Ornaments are one of my favorite sizes to paint. I love a good door hanger. I love a good porch leaner attachment. Like my go-to is like a porch leaner attachment, or sometimes I'll take ornament size and make them into a garland. But my favorite thing is to paint them into an ornament. So I'm going to take milk chocolate. That's going to be our hat color. Okay. And I'm going to paint that milk chocolate. But first, I got to get my shape transferred on here. So I'm going to take some graphite paper. And I'm going to take a pencil. Let's see, I have a pencil right here. And if you notice, I had some painter's tape. I put painter's tape to create like a little hinge. You don't necessarily have to do that, but I do that just so that one, my little template doesn't fly away. And two, it kind of helps me put it back in the same spot if I have to use it multiple times. And we will need to use it multiple times in this this project. So I'm just going to flip it back there. I don't care if it gets paint on it. I can always print it out again. No big deal. But all I wanted was to get that loose shape of the hat on there. Ah, Marie, she just goes, happy dance. I'm telling you. And he's a cute one. Like, look how cute he is. What it inspired me was when we made our what did we paint? Or last week we used the raffia. My brain is going blank on me. It was so cute. Y'all help me remind myself? What did we paint last week that used the hula skirt? What did we paint? I put it on my porch cleaner. It's gonna drive me crazy. I look at it every time I leave my house now. He's the cutest thing on the ZZ Top. No. Yes. Okay. We use the hula skirt or the raffia for the beard of our gnome. And he was super duper cute. He was so cute. Our candy corn gnome. So all I'm doing is I'm just using the remnants of that. I had a little bit left over from when I did trim the ZZ Top beard. I did. I went back and I trimmed it because I wanted to I ended up giving one to my friend and I kept one for myself. So I went ahead and trimmed mine so I could use it for my porch leaner. So I'm doing my second coat of milk chocolate. Milk chocolate is a little transparent. It's not fully transparent. It's not a sheer paint, but it definitely isn't a fully opaque paint. So y'all, if y'all have a friend that likes to paint or likes to be crafty, if you want to share this with them, go ahead and hit that share button and spread the good news out into the interwebs that we are live painting something really fun. Really fun. It is. He's going to be super cute. Look how cute he is. Okay, we're just going to blow dry that just so we can go ahead and do our next coat. Remember, wet paint moves wet paint, and we don't want to cause any extra frustration. So we are going to, for good measure, blow dry each coat so that we can build opacity, so that it will be less sheer, so that it could be full coverage. Let's see. That should get it. That should get it. Now, before we move on to the next step or the next color, I want to do something fun with his hat. So I want to go ahead and blow dry. I want this to be bone dry. I don't want this to be wet at all because it's going to kind of mess it up if I don't get it bone dry. I think I need to do a monthly kid ornament workshop. I think littles will have fun with this. I want to do a monthly ornament club. Like, that is one of my goals. Like, by next year, I'm going to have a monthly ornament club. I'm still working out the kinks of it. Like, how would I work that into the mix of everything? And I don't know if I would do all Christmas. Like, I think that having non-traditional, non-Christmas ornaments is fun. I decorate with these things. I have a pedestal back here that I like to put ornaments on. And not all of them are Christmas. Like, let's be real. That's not Christmas. And this is one of my favorite ornaments that I have painted before. Now, I do a good bit of Christmas ones, but I mean, think about it. When you walk in Hobby Lobby and you go over to the ornament section, very few of them are actually Christmas themed ornaments, you know? So that's what I'm kind of struggling with. It's just wrapping my head around, would I do all Christmas themed? Or would it be like a monthly, every month, a different ornament, and we paint it together? And I'm just trying to, if I were to offer a monthly ornament club where it's an exclusive ornament, would anybody like think that was a cool thing? Like, what would you like? Would be something that you'd be interested in? That's the question that I should be asking, because I know I can paint an ornament all day long. I love them. Okay, so there's this one little spot right here, and I think if I just let it cool down, it may dry. Hey, Anna. But no, you're right. The littles would love ornaments. They really would. And it's their size, you know, like this, to them, this is a good size thing. To them, a door hanger is massive. It's Mike, this is bubbling up. I think I got it too hot. Uh-oh. Yeah, Anna says absolutely the ornaments. I'm telling you, like, I just don't know how that would look. I have it on paper. I've been doing a brain dump. Have y'all ever done that where you have so many thoughts going through your head and you just got to get all the thoughts out of your head? So you just write them all down. I have been doing a brain dump. I have had this idea for, gosh, this will be the third year where it's been on my to-do list. Like, it's been on my wish list, like things I want to do. You know, life just gets in the way, and so I don't start anything new. So all I'm doing is I'm just taking some sandpaper, and I'm just creating some stress lines. I'm de-stressing his hat. I know I have ideas, but I don't know how to get them out. Well, the only way I know how to get my ideas out is to actually physically get them out. Like, they will drive me crazy if I don't physically get them out of my head. So, see, I'm just making little distress marks. They don't have to be perfect. It's almost like distressing a piece of furniture. I just want his hat to have a little bit of texture. Marie says, do it. Wish I could watch, but I'm at work. Oh my, Jerry, that is the story of your life. I swear. I asked the paint studio the other day, what are you doing this weekend? And Jerry was like, I'll give you 3 guesses. Hey, Crystal. Haven't caught you live in a long time. Well, Crystal, it's one because it's been a while. Like I will admit, it's been a while since I've been consistent, but I think life is starting to get a little bit more predictable for me. Finally, which is giving me like the mental space to think of the ornament club. Like I kind of want to do. Okay, so if I was to do an ornament club, what would you like? Tell me your ideas. What would you like? Well, how would you like it to be? Like, would you like it to be a monthly? Would you want it to have a group where we meet inside the group? Would you want it to be where I pre-record things? Would you want them to be live? I was like, what would you prefer, right? Like, well, how would you want it to go down? Okay, so there's the hat, right? I distressed the hat. I just kind of got it like nice and warm because remember, Scarecrow don't wear brand new clothes. Remember, we go to Goodwill for our Scarecrow. We get Grandpa's old pearl snap out the back of the closet that has holes all up in it. We get the ratty old jeans. Scarecrows don't get brand new clothes. So he's got a worn out hat. Second step, it's really third because second step, if y'all caught me last night over in the paint studio, Raylan kept coming in and she goes, okay, we're on step 3 now. She had no clue what we were doing, but she kept telling us what step we were on. We're on step 3 now, Mama. Mama, don't let them forget that we're on step 7 now. She was cracked. Well, she wasn't cracking her daddy up. Her daddy was getting frustrated with her because he thought she was messing us up when really we were just hanging out anyway. Okay, so Anna says she wants it just like the way we have it set up in studio. I like that idea. That's simple for me. It's easy for me. It's what I know. I do like that idea. I need my Erica fix. Sheila, your text messages give me life sometimes. Sometimes I just feel so special when you're like, okay, everybody chime in. You know, people don't do that anymore. And it really brings me joy whenever you're like, okay, I want to know what my people are doing. All right, so I've got sugared peach. If y'all want to know the paint list, if y'all aren't able to watch the entire live all the way through and take notes for your color list, go ahead and put the word Scarecrow down in the comments and I'll come back. And the color list is always at the very end. Now you got to click on the comment. It's always at the very end of the link buffet. Okay, so I always put where you can find the template, where you can find the blank, and at the very end, I always put the color list. Yes, ma'am. Oh, Raylan's coming in. She's telling us we're on step 2. Actually, ma'am, we're on step 3. We're painting his face, and I'm going to get a bigger brush because this is driving me crazy.
Okay, so step 3 might kind of be kind of tricky. So my mom's kind of using kind of glass, so they protect this thing.
She's talking about my acrylic cover for my table.
So if you don't have this glass thing, you kind of,
which is the easiest thing to clean. I'm telling you, I used rubbing alcohol, and I squirt it on the whole thing.
Your thing needs to look like this.
Yes, ma'am. That's what we're working on right here. We're working on this one right here.
So step 5.
Actually, I'm going to put him right here because I'm right-handed. There we go. I love this mason jar idea. I am a lover of me too, Anna. She wants you to see my rock. I painted this while we were in New Orleans. And I painted this one too. Can you tell I was in my hydrangea phase? I was in my hydrangea era. All right. What did I ask you to do while I was painting?
Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah. So actually, I'm going to put this underneath. Hopefully that will be a little bit of a barrier to where I'm not bubbling up my acrylic on my desk. Oh, I love this mason jar. I feel like it can be almost anything it wants to be. It's like a kindergartner. What do you want to be when you grow up? And the mason jar goes, I want to be the president of the United States. I want to be a doctor. You asked a 5-year-old Erica, she wanted to be a cashier. I want to be a cashier. Because my grandmother was a cashier. I was like, I wanted to be just like her. Okay. Second coat. So like I said, if you put the word Scarecrow down in the comments, honestly, it's just if you need to know something, if you want to know where to find the template, if you want to know where to find the wooden blank, where you can always link directly to the wooden blank over at Home Creations. You can get it in size 4-inch to 24-inch. I'm painting a 5-inch. Going back in with the sugar peach. And I also, at the very end of that, I always put, so you're going to have to click the see more, but at the very end of that, you'll always find the color list. Let's see. What, my baby girl? Are we on step 3?
No.
I promise you, we're still on step 3. We're just on step 3B because we're on our second coat.
Okay. So step 3 is going to be really hard sometimes because if you don't have this glassing and if you don't have this glassing and if the paint gets on this thing.
She's still talking about my acrylic cover. All right, baby girl. Thank you. Those are great ideas. All right, bye-bye. All right, you go play in your room. All right, so there's that. So let's see. Girl, you know I love your mason jars. Always up for new ideas. I think you might need a Santa or a Rudolph. Ooh, those are good Christmas ideas. You know, we haven't even hit our Christmas phase yet. I'm thinking we're going to start Christmas next week. Are we totally over Halloween? Like, do we want to do any more Halloween? Or are we over it? Are we done? Are we moving on? All right, so our next step is going to be, let's go ahead and shade all the things, and then we'll put our face on. Let's go ahead and shade all the things. I'm going to bring in Fawn. And this is for his face. Sometimes I use Fawn. Sometimes I use burlap. I used burlap when I did my little test run here. And for some reason, it just wasn't showing up. So I was like, you know what? Let me go. Burlap and Fawn are really close. They're really close in color. But sometimes I like Fawn. Sometimes I like burlap. It just depends on how it plays. And it just wasn't playing well. So I was like, let me try the burlap. Let me try the Fawn and see if it shows up a little bit better. All right, using my ultra fine mister to get a nice wet surface so my paint spreads out evenly. I normally like my angle brush, but this morning whenever I was playing around with stuff, for some reason my angle brush just wasn't doing its job. So I brought out my flat brush. It's just a 1/2 inch flat, and it does the same job when we're shading. And we really don't have any nooks and crannies we're having to get in and around, and that's why I like my angle brush. When I'm having to shade, I like the angle brush because if there's a turn that's really a tight turn, or if there's like a little spot that I want to get in and make sure that it stays where it needs to stay, the angle brush is the perfect brush to do that. But, you know, for this project, the flat brush is going to work just fine. Don't worry, I'm getting it on the hat. I'm not worried about it. I can take a baby wipe. As long as it stays wet, I can take a baby wipe and just clean that up. I'm using all Deco Art paints. I'm going to be using some embellishments that I got from my Hobby Lobby haul. I did not get to show everything from that haul because I was in the middle of waiting for my son. And that someone was saying, I love how you're watching your surroundings during that Hobby Lobby haul. I was like, I love how you're keeping. I was like, 1, everybody was staring at me in my car, and 2, I kept waiting for him to pull up next to me. So I was like, and he was finally pulling up next to me. So I had to cut it short, a little shorter than I wanted to, because there were still a few more fall things that I had in my bag, and this was one of them, my sunflowers that I had picked up. Okay, normally I do all my shading at the very end, but I like his shading to go really far, so I'm doing that before I do his face. I watched the replay. She's adorable. Oh man, don't say that too loud. She likes to be the star. Finally got my craft stuff all organized, and now I can paint and not fret on where everything is. Well, good luck on keeping I have a trouble. I like to organize my stuff, but it never stays where I put it. Somehow I find better places for my things whenever I organize it. I'm like, now I can't find anything because it has a spot, and it's been living in a temporary spot for 3 years, and now I can't find it because it has its own spot, and I don't remember where that spot's at. All right, so now I'm using raw umber to shade on my milk chocolate. I already see something that I forgot. I need to shade underneath this hat, but let's go ahead and shade the brim of his hat. So I just spritzed it with my ultra fine mister. Got it at Hobby Lobby. You can also get it on Amazon. And I'm just adding a little bit of a shadow. I'm going to spritz that just a little bit more. Don't need it to be like, hey, how are you? I just need it to kind of give a little wave. I don't need it to be bam all up in your face, but I do need it to be there. There we go. There we go. The browns are a little harder to see when they're wet, when you're shading. So always let them dry completely before you pass judgment, okay? Always let them completely dry. Where'd my brown go? Oh, it's because I didn't pick up any brown. There we go. Now I'm going to go around this top, because remember, he's still a mason jar. So we need to give the lid a little bit of a lip. There we go. And we're just going to, there we go. How's y'all's Monday going? My Mondayed so hard that I can't wait till Tuesday now. It was a Monday of all Mondays. What did Wanella say? I just saw her. This would be cute with a snowman. Well, Wanella, girl, you just stay tuned. You just stay tuned, my friend, because look what I picked up with the very thought buttons. I picked up some buttons at the Dollar Tree with the very thought of doing a snowman, because I was like, how cute would it be to have some 3D buttons on at least like I got the idea when I was taking our paint studio garland piece. I had an extra piece, so I was like, oh, let me make it into an ornament. Look how cute our snowman from the paint studio turned out into an ornament. So we made this thing into a 6-piece garland over in the paint studio, and I had an extra piece, so I was like, ooh, and then I drilled some holes. I put some wire and some beads. Look at these beads. These are like snowballs. I got these at Hobby Lobby, and I'll show you in just a minute. But I put my beads on there. I was like, how cute would he be? And then the more I looked at him, I was like, he'd be cute as a mason jar. So just stay tuned. It may be coming soon. With a pomegranate on each side of his head for ear. How cute! One on the top of his head. Oh, you're talking about like with a beanie and not with a top hat. How stinking cute. Wanella, that's a cute idea. That is so cute. I just love how y'all's brains work. Sometimes, because it's so different from mine. I would have never thought about that. When I think snowman, I think top hat. And my brain can't unsee top hat. So whenever I see a snowman, and I have designed snowmen with a beanie or a toboggan. Is it also called a toboggan? Okay, so I'm adding a little bit of shade on all these curves, because remember, curves mean that they go towards the back. So we're just going to add just a little bit, nothing fancy, nothing extravagant. We're just adding a little bit of curvature. And remember, we said we were going to go back underneath. I see a reindeer ornament on the jar for sure. That's what Sheila said. Sheila said a Santa and a reindeer. Wanella said a snowman, a pumpkin. Oh, okay. So okay. Look at this idea. I started with a pumpkin on this, and I just can't figure out how I want my pumpkin to be. But that right there, I mean, I'm happy with just the background on it. or a bubbling, which is cauldron. Oh, hey, Marie. I taught a CPR this morning, then laundry for the rest of the day. I do not envy your day. Laundry. I just dealt with teenagers all day, all stinking day. But I would take teenagers over laundry all day, unless you got to watch TV while you folded laundry. Because there's a couple of TV shows I really want to catch up on, and I haven't had a chance to. So if you got to do that, I am jealous of that. Graham and I have been watching Loki, and the kids, and we have our family movie night has morphed into a family TV show night. We have been watching the Goosebumps series, the new Goosebumps series on, is it Hulu or Disney? I think it's on both, actually. We've been watching that as a family. So that comes out every Friday. And so we have to wait a whole week in between episodes. And even Ray Lynn gets into it. It's not so scary that Ray Lynn's scared of it. There's been a couple of times she goes, I don't think I'm going to watch the next part. So you tell me when it's over. But she's my spooky baby. She handles the scary stuff better than me, than the rest of us, honestly. But she gets upset when you call her a spooky baby. And it makes me upset because I'm so proud of her. At her age, I couldn't watch anything that even alluded to being scary. A Jack Skellington or a Sally. That checkered one would be cute. Mad Hatter. Oh, I could get, Tim Holtz over in the scrapbook section has all the steampunk stuff. And I bet you they have a little like pocket watch. That would be really cute for a Mad Hatter one. Like a little pocket watch for the White Rabbit. Put the little 27 / whatever it is on his hat. Oh, I just did a deep dive with that and loved it. Isn't it good? Isn't it good? It's real good for a family. It's a family friendly, spooky something. That's not super Disney, I think it's put out by Disney, but it's still got a little spook to it. It's fun that my teenager is willing to watch it with his 6-year-old sister. Like that, it's a good in between for their age groups. All right. So we're this far, okay? So all the base is done. So let's do the face. Let's get this face on here. Careful, we were stirring up those creative minds. Oh yeah, yeah. Don't get us in trouble with the stripes. Are you talking about the getting us in trouble with crossing the picket line? Yeah, we don't want to cross the picket line. I wholeheartedly respect what they got going on over there. Respect it. All right, so like I said, I'm not trying to get it perfect. This one is, if it's off a little bit, it's not gonna hurt it. This isn't one of those that has to be precise. But let's go ahead. I'm going to keep my finger on the very edge of this and on the hat. I don't want to put my finger anywhere near the face. That way if I do, no, I meant mandatory spot. Oh, like just getting the creative juices just flowing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to do it again. His little face makes me so happy. I think it's just the cutest. Look how fast that just whipped on there. Now, remember, if you get blanks from Home Creations, you can totally get these etched. You can totally get these etched. All right, so remember, I'm just going to flip that back. Look, it's so cute. Now, we can use paint pen or we could use paint. I used paint on this one. So, we've got time. Let's go ahead and just use the paint. Now, I like, with circles, I like to use an angle brush. I think a Mr. and Mrs. Santa matching pair. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. And we could put little holly leaves and berries in their, on their hats. They would be super cute. Those would be adorable. Okay, so now we're going to get some white. I will be using black paint for the eyeballs because I used black paint pen for that. And let me tell you, that was a nightmare trying to get that sealed. Even with my little hacks. I have a few little hacks with working with paint pen. There's just so much paint pen in that eyeball right there that there's not a hack in the world that kept it from running. It just kept reactivating. All right, so the eyeballs will take 2 to 3 coats depending on what white you're using. Just be patient. I prefer doing 3 light coats and getting them done nice and neat versus a sloppy coat and a half. Okay? So let's get the let's make them look nice. Remember, his eyes are what invite you in. Okay, so let's make them nice. So we're gonna blow dry in between each some kind of gnome. You know, the gnomes are really popular. I have everybody keeps saying every year gnomes are going out of style, and every year gnomes are always they're my top sellers. And I agree. Some kind of gnome would be super duper cute. So far we have a Mad Hatter, a pumpkin, a bubbling cauldron, a snowman, Mr. and Mrs. Claus, a reindeer. The list just keeps going. Y'all just keep the ideas coming. Y'all just keep them coming. It's the more ideas we come up with, the more I can create and put them out there for y'all, so that we can have some creative fun. But remember, if you're wanting to know anything about this particular one, the word Scarecrow in the comments will get you a link to all the things. Where you can find the template, where you can find the wooden blank, the anything that we talk about. Like if we talk about if you ask where I got a particular such and such, I'll make sure to link that as well. I keep a little list off to the side so I don't forget to link anything. But it also, at the very end of that list, you get the paint color list. It would be cute too to do group Scarecrow, Crow, Pumpkin. It would be a really cute little. You know, I love a good trio. I think things are perfect in threes. I don't know what just happened, but something glitched, and I don't know if y'all saw it, but I saw it, and it freaked me out for just a second. We were talking about spooky stuff, and my screen glitched. It wasn't like it timed out or anything. Like both screens just went whoop. Let's see, but I think we're okay. Let's see. My daughter had me decorate our entire dining room in gnomes. That lemon one I did in a variety of fruits all over. That's super cute. That lemon one really was versatile because you could anything that can be cut into a wedge, like a lemon, a lime, an orange, a watermelon. That one was really good and versatile. That was back in sneak peek week in the spring. That was a good one. Your daughter has good taste. See, Brenda says a scarecrow. Yes, a series. I think that is a great idea for each of the seasons or a holiday. Okay, so I think we're dead set. I think we're set on an ornament. Okay, so we've talked ornament club, right? It's in the brain. It's in the brain. An apple, a kiwi, a passion fruit. Oh my, I did so. I wouldn't even thought about a kiwi or a passion fruit, but that's smart. I can totally see a passion fruit because all the little bubbles that are inside of a passion fruit. Okay, I'm going to blow dry that, but I'm also going to let it air dry too because we can always move on to the nose and give it a little air dry time. We talked ornament club. Now again, it's just something that's it's just in the works. I'm using warm sunset. That's going to be my base orange. It's in the works. It's been in the works for about 2 years. Like the 2024 will be the 3rd year that Ornament Club has been on my to-do list. That it's been on my, what is that, vision board? That's the word I was looking for. It's been on my vision board. This will be the 3rd year. It's been something I want to do because ornaments have my heart. I love door hangers. I love painting all the fun home decor, but ornaments are my favorite thing to paint. I just think that because they're simple, you can get as creative as you want with them. They don't always have to be a certain design. And plus, anything in an ornament size can always be blown up to door hanger size. Like, how cute would this be as a door hanger. I mean, how cute. Like a big old mason jar. I mean, it's so cute. I'm doing an Elvis tree, paint his costumes different colors with the name of the song on his topper, on with his name on, it moved up, on his cap. Okay. But also have some records on the tree too. The tree topper is in red. Oh, Wanella, you know I love me some Elvis. I gotta see that when you get that done. I want to see it. An aquarium, a terrarium. Oh, a Mr. and Mrs. Frankenstein. Marie, where were you going with an aquarium and terrarium? Are you talking about like a mason jar? I got sidetracked with the Elvis. It was like, ooh, squirrel. Okay, so warm sunset. If you notice, I'm holding my brush real close to the bristles. I'm not backed up on it because I want to maintain control. Okay, I want to maintain control. The further back on my brush is how loose. If I'm these scrolly things, I'll back up on my brush. But if I want to maintain control, I get real close to the bristles. Just like a pen. We're getting real close to finishing him up to where we get to the fun part. Ooh, since we're getting that close, I have my Ryobi glue tool. Okay, hot glue tool. You know, we don't like to say the other word that starts with a G because Facebook doesn't like it. But I'm going to turn it on and let it start warming up. I have Gorilla Glue sticks in there. I don't know if there's any different between the Gorilla Glue sticks and just regular old glue sticks, but I do know that I love Gorilla Super Glue. And even though it may be a little bit more expensive, I trust the Gorilla brand. So I went ahead and just bought Gorilla Glue sticks. It's what I've used for a while. It's what I trust. I was like, and so far with me using it on my outdoor pieces, it has not failed me. Now, I have not tested it during Louisiana heat during the summer, but I will say so far during the fall, it's been fine. It would be a really cute seascape. It really would be. I bought those two. They're the good ones. They're good. They are. And I like to buy them at Michael's so that I can get a discount because Hobby Lobby doesn't give us a discount on, unless Hobby Lobby has a sale on the glue. And very rarely do they have a sale on the glue. Okay, so I don't want to use paint pen. I really don't. But I also don't want to have to. Okay, I'm going to. Okay. I don't feel like messing with the paintbrush on this. All right, I'm just going to throw that back in there. I'm just going to lightly trace this because if I'm off just a little bit, it's okay. I'm just lightly doing it. I mean, very, very light pressure. So light that it didn't even show up. Let's try that again. Wait a minute. It's because I had it upside down. Shiny side up. Good job, Ear Corray. Let's try this again. There we go. A little bit better. And I was a little off, so that's okay. That's okay. Let me find I like to use a 5M on these bigger. I think I used a 3M earlier. I'm just filling it in. Yes, my baby. You're trying to do some makeup?
Yes. I mean, so can you help me open this?
Oh, you need help opening your eyeshadow?
Yep. Ooh.
There you go.
I wish I was the good painter.
You are a good painter.
Almost.
You're a very good drawer. You know what I wasn't good at when I was little? Drawing. I really wasn't. It wasn't until I got my iPad that I got a little better. It's like the iPad gave me a little bit of training wheels. And now I can freehand a little bit better. He's so cute. His eyes are a little lopsided and they're going to bug me. I need to bring them out just a little bit more. There we go. That's a little better. Oh, yeah. Much better. All right. We're going to let that dry. We're going to put some white dots on top of that. So let's bring, I'm going to use the 3M. You can use the 3M on his eyes too. But I'm doing 3M on his mouth because it's thinner. And I don't want a super heavy line on his mouth. I just want as thin as I can get it without it being too thin. So a 3M is my go-to. There we go. The good thing about him being a scarecrow, nothing has to be perfect on him. Remember, he gets hand-me-downs, okay? I still have the mason jars I got from you. Sat in a drawer. I think I'll see what you do for Christmas and paint them. I feel like you've done that every time we paint it. You said that, oh, now I'm going to go get those mason jars out. Marie, you have got to go get those mason jars. Go get them out of the drawer. Paint one. Just paint one. Just one. I think they're this size too. They may be smaller. I can't remember what size I brought during that time. Let's see. I bought those two. They're the good ones. They really are the good ones. Alrighty. So now that I'm just giving my paint pen a little time to dry, I'm going to go ahead and start adding a little bit of a highlight. Okay. Normally you see me adding highlight with my buff brush, right? We're going to use that in just a little bit. I'm going to add highlight with my angle brush this time. Okay. We're going to add it and it doesn't have to be the angle brush. You can add it with a flat brush. Remember, there's no little nooks and crannies that we need to get around on this one. Let me show you how I'm adding the highlight on. Oh, no, I don't want that one because that one needs to be reshaped. Let me find. There we go. This one right here. I have one angle brush that I have a hair that's just like boing, alfalfa. It's just giving a good alfalfa impression. This one is too, but it's a little better. So I'm going to put some white on my brush. Yes, my baby. Yeah, bring it here before I start painting. Bring it here.
You already paint.
I know. There you go.
Thanks, Mama.
So I've never really given her play makeup. I've always bought her some real makeup because she's my only girl, right? So with the play makeup, I've always been nervous that play makeup doesn't hold up to the same standards that our makeup has to hold up to. Like all of the, that's real bright. I didn't knock off as much of the white. You only need a little bit of white for that highlight. And go down the side. Down the side. Okay, that's a really stark. We're going to clean my brush. It's real stark. All right, I'm not going to add any. I clean my brush. No paint on my brush. We're going to add water. Okay, if it's still good and wet, you don't have to add the water. And I'm just going to move this paint out of the way and knock some of that paint off. Move this paint out of the way. All I'm doing is I'm erasing some of that paint. If you clean your brush and add water, it kind of erases the paint that's on there. As long as that paint is still wet. Look at that. Much better. We just needed a little hairline of a highlight. All right. Again, just a teensy little bit of white. Okay. And we're going to work that in. Barely there. Okay. It's barely there now. We're going to put a little bit of a highlight on the very top. See that white, when we're highlighting on such a dark color, it really does show up. So you don't need much at all. This is a skippable step. You do not have to do this. Okay. If you're not comfortable taking this step yet, this is definitely a next level step. highlight and the shading. This is something that if you're confident in the way that you're painting now, this is what I would recommend you add to practice is break out a mixed media pad and start practicing your shading and your highlighting. They're the same exact process. It's just depending on if you're adding a darker color or a lighter color. So there's our highlight. I'm going to clean my brush. I'm going to do a little bit of a shade on his nose because we kind of skipped that part. I'm going to use burnt orange. We just need the teeniest, tiniest little drop because we only need to cover about 3 bristles of our brush. Teeny, tiny little bit of orange. Okay. And we're just going to do the left. It's going to be a barely there. Oh, no. Look what I did with his mouth. Somehow I smeared it. I don't know how I did that, but it's okay. I'll go back and I'll fix it. So we're going to do a barely there. There we go. We're going to let that dry. And while that's drying, I'm going to take my baby wipe and see if I can clean that up. It's okay if I buff all this away. That is straight from the bottle. That is straight from the bottle sugared peach. There we go. Let me clean up under his nose because I kind of dragged that a little bit. There we go. All I'm doing is you can see my little fingernail. I have my fingernail pressed and I'm able to get real precise in there. So I'm going to take a little bit of sugared peach. Just a little bit. And I'm just going to kind of concealer, just like you would add concealer to your... What you got, baby girl? I'm going to tap-tap-a-roo that on there. It's going to kind of blend all that in there. And I'm just going to tap-tap-tap-tap-a-roo. There we go. Perfect. And it'll dry down. So let's go ahead and dry everything. I am the same way. I've only bought real makeup for Becca too. It's Laura's. Hey, Lorela. I'll paint the big one. The rest are smaller. Okay. I couldn't remember. I have some smaller ones over here too. They're like 4 inches. I love the small ones, but sometimes whenever I'm making an ornament, I kind of want to make sure that unless I'm making a bunch of them, I want them to show up. So I make them about 5 to 6 inches. Anything over 6 inches is oversized. Like it's a thing. An oversized ornament is a thing, but you don't want just one oversized ornament on your tree. If you're going to make oversized ornaments, or if you're going to buy oversized ornaments, you want to make sure that you're buying or making multiple so that you have balance. But if you're just displaying, you don't worry about all that. So let's see. I have to do. Lorelai says hello. I saw the glitch. That's weird, isn't it? It's weird, but it's not kicking us off. So we're just gonna roll with it. We're just gonna roll with it. All right. So I have these little polka dot. They're little acrylic dotting tools I got at the craft store. I don't remember which craft store, but I have these little polka dot craft dotting tools. And I was like, how fun would those be to dot our eyes? Oh, I hear Raylan in there talking about scarecrows. Okay, so there's the big ones because you know I like to do a big one. His face really never takes shape until we put those dots in his eyes. I think it came in like a 3-pack. There was a medium, a large, medium, and a small. Let's see if I can find the small because that's the one I used on the eyes the last time. I can't find the small, so we'll just roll with this. And then we'll put boop and boop. There's his little dots in his eyes. You could also use the back of paintbrushes, just different size paintbrushes. Oh, he's so cute. Thank you, Sandy. Isn't he super cute? He is super duper cute. Just wait till we start adding his his hair. The last thing we need to do when painting, well, there's 2 more steps. We got to put a little highlight on his nose, and then we got to get him sealed. And then we can add his hair. But we don't want to add his hair until he's completely sealed up, okay? Because you don't want to get anything extra in his hair and make his hair look dirty or dingy. Ooh, look what we're forgetting to do, his little cheeks. All right, so usually you would see me highlight with the buff brush, but today we're just going to do his cheeks with the buff brush. So I'm going to take Poodle Skirt Pink, and remember the word Scarecrow gets you the full color list of of everything that we use today. So you do not have to take notes. Just put the word Scarecrow down in the comments, and you'll get what I call a link buffet. And that'll have links to everything that we talk about, whether it be the template, the wooden blanks, if we talk about a certain tool or anybody asks something about a certain such and such, I like to put it all right there. And anybody who puts the word Scarecrow down in the comments will get that link buffet. And at the very end of the link buffet, you'll have to hit the see more. It'll say da 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 see more. You have to hit the see more. And it always has the color list of everything that I used. So what I did is Poodle Skirt Pink, okay? And I just tap, 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 tap to work it into the brush. And then I buffed it until I start to see that it is, I picked up some white, so we're going to have to buff it again. We buffed it until we see that it's not really depositing any wet paint. It's just depositing a hazy little dry brush look. And we're just going to do little rounded cheeks. Again, this is a skippable step. You do not have to do this. And if you want like to take polka dot daubers and make very there cheeks, go for it. This is a barely there cheek. So see how he has just like barely there buffed on cheeks. It takes a little bit of patience for it because it's building up. You can do this before you put on his eyes, or you can do this after you put on his eyes. It really doesn't matter. It's really not going to make a whole lot of difference unless, look at his little cheek. It's barely there, but it is so cute. Pick up a little bit more pink. Tap, 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 tap-a-roo. Tap, 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 tap. Start blending it in until you start seeing it. See how it's depositing wet paint right there? Still depositing wet paint. You'll see it. You'll get a feel for it. You'll do it a couple of times and you're like, oh gosh, that was still wet. It still had a couple of wet bristles in there. And I'm using barely there pressure. I'm hardly pressing down. Some people think that if you press down, you get more. No, it makes it look funky. Just barely there pressure. I don't know what my daughter just brought in here. Marie, the box that all the My Little Ponies came in that Becca sent Raylyn. We still have that box, the one that you decorated and put her name on. She refuses to let me throw that away. What, baby? I saw the box. Is there a message in the box?
Yeah. I want you to take it out.
Okay. Look at his little cheeks. Okay, we're done with this. I do clean these, but I have a pink one. I use pink. All right, in the box. Scarecrow. That's her little Scarecrow. I love you, Mommy, because I love you so much. Aww. I speak Raylyn. Look at that. I love it. You did such a good job. Can you go put that on the fridge?
Yes, Mama.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, so everything's dry. I do need to put one last little highlight on his nose, and then we can get him sealed up and ready to add his little hair. He's adorable, isn't he? Hey, Miss Pam.
I'm adorable.
You are adorable. You're absolutely adorable. Raylyn saw my Santa Claus and my gingerbread spoons. The word spoon escaped me. She saw my spoons in the car after I came back from the trip, and she goes, "Why do you have spoons with Santa on it?" Like her brain cannot wrap around the thought of why Santa was on the spoon. She goes, "I don't get it. I don't get it." I was like, "Well, that's okay. It's not for you to get. I absolutely adore him, and he makes me happy." Miss Pam painted some really cute Santa Clauses and snow. I want to say you did snowmen too, didn't you? Oh, thank you, Miss Stephanie. I thought, and some gingerbread men, and I fell in love with them. And I wanted a couple of her. They're just wooden spoons, and she painted the ladle part of the spoon. And I was like, I just kind of want to decorate my kitchen with them. It's kind of one of those barely there decorations, like when someone goes to grab a spoon, they're like, "How cute is that spoon?" You know, like it's going to be a barely there decoration, but it's going to mean so much to me every time I go to cook during the holidays. I'll have a Miss Pam spoon in my kitchen. So we went from bare wood to adding just a simple little doodle that I doodled up this morning. And we painted our cute little scarecrow. Well, he's not a scarecrow till we put some hair on him, right? He's not a scarecrow, but we got to get him sealed up. So let's clean up our edges. So usually I tell you, go grab the furniture stain pins and penguins. Oh, penguins are so cute. To grab the furniture stain pins whenever you see them. Well, I have found the ones at the Dollar Tree, either they changed the formula, but they no longer are as good as I said they used to be. I still have a couple of old ones. I swear, the new ones and the old ones, there's a different formula. And the new ones do not match up to some of the old ones I still have in my craft stash. But I will tell you right now, an Expo chisel marker is working wonders at my craft table. An Expo chisel marker. This thing, now I will say it took a minute for this thing to get juicy. It was dry when I first got it out of the package, and I was very devastated. I was like, no, I really thought this was going to change my life. And then, but it just took a minute. It just took a minute for all the ink to get down to the tip. But it is working wonders. So if you are finding that your furniture stain pins, especially the ones from the Dollar Tree, are just not holding up like they used to, I have cleaned up the edges of so many things, and this thing has yet to tear up. Look, it looks brand new straight from the package. I have been using this thing like crazy. My furniture stain pins were tearing up after the first door hanger. That is so cute. She wants you to see. She's using her little jack-o'-lantern pumpkin stickers. All right. All right. So we have it cleaned up. Let's get it sealed. I'm going to use my Liquitex Glossy.
I want to show everybody first.
No, baby, I really want. Mama is on a roll here. Can we let Mama finish? Can we? Okay.
Right now we're on lesson.
Oh, step. We're on which step? We're
on lesson 35,000.
35,000. Yeah, it feels like that sometimes. It does feel like that sometimes whenever we're on, painting something with a bunch of steps. The dry erase doesn't rub off. Nope. Mm-mm. So here's something that made me think about it. I heard someone say on a TikTok okay, so hold on one second. I'm going to real quick, just do 2 swipes over the paint pen. And we're just going to let that dry. Okay. We're not going to overwork it. We're not going to tempt fate. We're not going to invite the devil to the table. Okay, y'all. Paint pen can be the devil sometimes. It can definitely be an aid in I see your disco ball. But I'm going to tell you right now, more than one swipe at a time over paint pen will make it spread and make it smear. Or streak. So I'm telling you, we do not invite the devil to the paint craft table, okay? We keep him away. So why do we want to make ourselves more frustrated by adding something in and doing something we know is going to end poorly? So 1-2 swipes over something that's heavily paint penned and just let it dry, okay? So we're going to dry that. So that should be sealed in there. Now a little bit of hairspray creates a little bit of a barrier, but that's a lot of paint pen. I don't think there's enough hairspray in the world to build up a barrier between what I need to cover that eyeball right there. That is paint pen to heck and back. All right. I think that we just needed to do a quick little barrier swipe and let it dry. Okay. So once we get this dry, we'll be able to seal the whole thing like normal. No, the dry erase does not rub off. So let me get this dry and I'll show you. So this has already been, this is the dry erase marker. See? And I've sealed it. I did the dry erase before I sealed it because I really thought it was going to bring it into the painting, and it didn't. It didn't. All right, so we have that dry. Let's go ahead and do our, now we're going to count this as our first coat. Okay, so that barrier coat was not our first coat. This is our first coat. So we're going north and south. Remember, I like to do 2 coats so that we really get all the coverage, right? So 2 coats, north and south. We'll turn it and we'll do east and west. See, I've been using a giant Sharpie. Okay, so the one thing about Sharpies, though, be aware, depending on what sealer you're using, Sharpies are oil-based. And Sharpies can cause some frustration. But I know a lot of people that use the Sharpies. I know a lot of people that use the larger chisel tip paint pens, but they're just so expensive. I got a pack of 7 of these for $1 a piece. Okay, so a pack of 7. So I think it was like $7 and some change after tax. So it was like a 5-pack plus 2. I'm gonna start buying these whenever school supplies go on sale, because these right here, I'm telling you, I have been using them on all the projects just to kind of test drive it out before I recommended it to you, and it has been working wonders. It's actually been working better. I got a little bit of, I don't know what right there. It's been working better than the furniture stain pen, to be honest, just because the tip is holding up better. I've been able to do multiple projects before it starts to dry out on me. That has yet to dry out on me. I'm telling you, the furniture stain pens just weren't holding up like they used to. They used to be my tried and true. They're just not holding up like they used to. And it really broke my heart. And I thought I was going to have to go back to individually painting the side. See, look, oh, that was even wet. And it's not smearing. Look at my brush. I have something in my brush, though. Can y'all see it? It's like dried black paint. There we go. So yeah, so if you've been using the furniture stain pens, because I told you that was like the holy grail of cleaning up your edges and getting that faux laser cut look, I'm telling you, if you're getting frustrated with it, try a dry erase marker. The chisel ones. I got mine at Target. The last time I was at Target, something on TikTok told it was another artist, and it wasn't they weren't painters. They weren't a painter. They were, I don't remember what they used it for. They used it to outline something. And they were saying dry erase markers are permanent markers. And I was like, no, they're not. That's why they're dry erase. No, they're dry erase on slick surfaces. But dry erase is permanent on porous surfaces. That's why it says somewhere on the package, on the actual paper package. Oh, here's the paper package. No, wait, I lied. I got 5 for $7. I got 5. Here's the paper. It says do not use on cloth. That's the reason why it says do not use on cloth, is because it's permanent on cloth. If you're a teacher or know a teacher that got Expo marker on her clothes, it's done for. You don't get that out, right? I immediately had David Crowell's "Run, Devil, Run" pop in my head when you said that. I've been reading a book that it's a Louis Giglio. I like Louis Giglio. He's very nostalgic for me. One of my first youth camps that I ever went to as a teenager was in middle school, and our guest speaker was Louis Giglio. And I just liked the way that he talked. It was the first time that an adult spoke Jesus on my level, like, and it, I always understood things in church, but when we would go to big church, big, I still call it big church. Whenever we would go to big church, it was like things went over my head in middle school and even sometimes even into high school. But when I went to that particular youth camp with Louis Giglio, it like everything he said, I understood. He put it on my level. And so it's just something very, very cozy and very comfy, and very nostalgic about Louis Giglio. And I saw that book in Hobby Lobby one day and I was like, you know what? It has caught my eye a million times. So I was like, I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to read it. And it's been a really good book. It's put me in my place a couple of times. So if you're looking for a good, it's a quick read. If you're looking for a good, just devotional, it's not necessarily it's a devotional, but it's more, it reads more like a chapter book than an actual fill in the blank devotional, class like devotional. Um, it's been a good one. I'm not finished with it yet, but it's been good. The first two chapters put me in my place. Like I felt like I needed to go be put in time out. It was good. Okay, so we're completely done painting our scarecrow. Let's get to the fun part. Let's get his hair thrown on here. What you got, baby girl? You got your flamingo? Okay. Mama's almost done. I promise. I promise.
And then is it okay after you're done? Is it okay we play with each other?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yay!
Absolutely. I am all yours after I'm done here, okay?
Yay!
So I have the leftover of my raffia from another project. We did another project where we painted our a gnome, and this was our beard. So if you want that tutorial, just put the word Scarecrow down in the comments, and I'll make sure to link that as well. The gnome is a free template to where all you need is, this was a hula skirt, but a hula skirt is nothing but really nice ironed out raffia, okay? So I have this raffia here, and I just saved the trimmings. I'm just going to pull out a handful, okay? And I'm going to make sure that none of them are going to be exactly the same length, but that's okay because we're going to have to trim it anyways. I'm going to flip him over. I'm going to make sure that there's no little scragglies. I'm going to get my Ryobi heat tool, okay? And I'm going to just put a little dollop. I want to make sure I get all this raffia glued down. Oh, I'm getting hungry. My stomach is saying, feed me, Seymour. Feed me.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
What?
I have to do more dishes than yesterday.
She has been on a dishes rampage.
Because I want to take Hayden to be off.
Well, dishes are normally Hayden's chore, and she's like, I want to give Hayden an off day. Okay, so I've got it down, but it's not 100% down. I do need another glue stick because it was almost out. Okay, there we go. Got a new glue stick loaded up. We're just going to put a little bit of glue just to lock that in there. Okay. That's going to self-level over it. We're going to let that dry. Now, while that's drying, let me show you my glue tool. This thing has been amazing. I love it. So I'm going to back you up just a little bit so you can see it. Oh, be careful, Raylyn.
Okay, I don't need this up.
Okay, thank you. So this thing sits in here, and while this light is red, that means it's on. And while this light is red, that means it's charging on this base. So what this is doing is it's cordless. That's the one thing I do like about it. I love this thing because it's cordless and it has a little drip tray. So I can have it seated in here charging, and all the little drips are catching on the drip tray. It charges with my Ryobi batteries. I'm a Ryobi fanatic. I love their tools. Mainly because the thing that started me on Ryobi is that they were green, and that was really cool compared to the blue and the red and the orange that most power tools come in. Green really fit in my craft room a little better, but I love this gun. Ooh, bad word. Nope. Tool. We're trying to be Facebook friendly here. I love this tool more so than a regular glue tool. It's because it doesn't have cord, and I can be cordless. Okay. It charges off of my Ryobi battery, so all I have to do is charge this whenever I need it. I've charged it once, since using it, but it really does hold a charge for a really good time. Let's see, are we dry yet? The only thing I can't do is use the blow dryer on this because it's hot glue, right? It's hot glue. So we can't heat it up expecting it to dry faster. So we're just going to fold this down and see if we can add some. You got it, baby girl?
Yeah, Mama.
Okay. What's the name again? It glitched and I didn't get to hear the book of the Raylyn,
What?
can you grab me a book off of the coffee table?
Mommy, I'm just drinking.
I'm pretty sure, I think if I'm right, it says don't give the enemy a seat at your table, something like that. I think it's green. I think it's a green book. Let me see. Is that the one? Do you see it? No. It's either green or orange.
I don't see it.
I'm pretty sure it's don't give the enemy a seat at your table.
Is it this one?
Yes, that one. Yes. Bring it over here. I'll let you screenshot it. It's a really good book. Here. You said this is leaking? Where is it leaking?
Fonty's leaking. Where is this?
Well, baby, don't do that. You're a big girl. You know how to drink out of a cup.
She does the problem.
Okay, go put it over there and let me finish doing this and then I'll fix it, okay?
Okay.
Don't give the enemy a seat at your table. I was right. So I got it at Hobby Lobby. And like I said, his name just kept popping out at me. And I was like, and it's just a really good book. It's got some good aha moments about, there's certain time. The first chapter got me. And I was like, oh, I'm guilty of that. I am so guilty of that. And I probably need to go sit down in a corner somewhere and think about my actions. Okay, so we're just going to push this down. Now, what I did with this one was I used my staple tool. Okay, I just used this and I stapled them. Well, not everybody's wood is going to handle staples as well as this one, okay? This is the thickest underlayment that I've ever used, and I love it for that because my staples don't go through them. But I want to show you how I would use a glue tool. So I'm just going to press these down to where they're kind of frayed out, kind of like little witch's brooms, okay? This just kind of holds it in place. Raylyn, you're pushing boundaries. Can you wait till I'm done? I'm gonna put a little bit of glue there. Hot, 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 hot. I'm gonna bring out a tool that's not my finger. Okay, and then we're going to put a little bit.
I love cookies with milk.
There we go. Just lock that down. Okay, lift this up. Just put a little bead down there. Boop, 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 bead it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Get all that just kind of in place. And then once that kind of cools down a little bit. I see that. You made your cookies into stairs.
Yep.
Just do a bead over it. Just kind of lock it down. I'm probably going overboard with the glue, but I want to make sure it's nice and secure. And I'm finished with that. I'm going to put it on the charger and I'm done. So I'm going to turn it off. I'm just going to let things dry.
I'm except for stairs.
She has her cookies stacked in a way that they look like stairs. Oh, you're welcome. It's been a really good book. If you have any aha moments from that book, let me know because I have reread a couple of chapters because every time I put the book down, it'll be about a week before I pick it back up. And I'll reread the chapter or two before just to kind of refresh myself because they're not very long chapters. And every time I reread a chapter, I'm like, oh, I didn't read it that way the first time. Well, yeah. He just has, look how cute that is. Look how cute that is. Now we are going to trim his hair just a little bit. We are going to trim it, but we're just letting this dry. So we're going to chit chat while that dries.
I think another problem.
What, baby?
So when I drink it kind of licks out from right there.
Oh, you must have it misthreaded. So hold on.
Yay! Thank you, Mom.
You're welcome. Try that. Is that better? Okay. She had some milk. She got a thermos of milk. Let's see. Okay. Come on now. Dry. It's the only thing about hot glue. It does stay pretty hot. Let's see. We can try. I just feel like this is going to warm it back up. What I can do, so I can take this battery off of the glue tool. Told you, I love wrapping. I have a little fan here. We can turn the fan on. Try and cool it down. Speed up the process of the glue. But there was a part of the book. One of my biggest aha moments was he said something about how he reacted to something, and I can't remember what the situation was, but it was one of those situations, and we've all been in one of those situations. It was one of those situations where we sat, where we heard something happened, and we knew it was going to happen that way, and we run real quick to who am I going to tell first that I was right, or who am I going to tell first that I knew that was going to happen. And so you start to communicate, whether you text or you call. And he had a whole story lined out of how this happened. He goes, and I went to the person that I knew that would understand the most because they were involved in this situation. And I had this whole story just laid out for him. And I just waited and waited. I just knew the response was going to be epic. And then all of a sudden the response was not what he expected. And it was one of those, why are you talking about how they did something wrong? And it was like the person who came back with the person that came back with their response had the correct mature response, and kind of without telling him that he was being immature about it, was able to tell him, you're being immature and you really this is a you problem and not a them problem. You really need to look inside yourself. And I was like, oh, right there. It got me right there. And so I remember I closed the book, put it down. I go, Graham Wallace, listen to what I just read. It was like one of those immediately share it with somebody kind of moments. All right. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to give him a little haircut. Trim-a-roo. There we go. Oh, he's so cute. He's so cute. Let's see. I'm going to kind of eyeball how I'm not a hairdresser. So that's my friend Megan's expertise, not mine. That's my friend Christy Rayner's expertise, not mine. Now, he still doesn't look finished, okay? Now, if his hair's alfalfa-ing a little too much for you, just press it down. Just press it down. And it'll kind of squish in, okay? But if you like it to alfalfa, girl, fluff it out like Farrah Fawcett. Come on. But no, here we go. I don't like it I want it to be nice and orderly with a little bit of disheveled. There we go. We're not done. Let's add his hanger, and then we can add an embellishment to make him look just a little bit more va-va-voom. I picked up, this is in the Christmas, so it's 50% off at Hobby Lobby right now. If you're catching it during the holidays or approaching the holidays, it's about Halloween time here. So if you're catching the replay, hello, put hashtag replay. But also know that during the holidays, they like to put all their Christmas and fall sale on sale. The good thing about this wire is that you can cut it with scissors. You don't need wire cutters, but I do have my wire cutters ready if I so happen to need one. I've got my handy dandy hand drill, nice and fully charged. I got a scrap piece of wood because remember, every time we drill something, we want to have scrap wood underneath it so it doesn't blow out the end of this. All right, we don't want to have little splinters. And I'm just going to put you kind of feel it. I knew that was going to happen eventually. I did a lot of drilling the other night. I knew it was eventually going to loosen up the bit. So we're going to put that bit back in there. We're going to tighten it back up. There we go. Nope, it's still loose. Let's see. Am I tightening it up the wrong way? Hold on. There we go. There we go. Boom. There we go. All right, so there we go. I got this thing at Harbor Freight, but Hobby Lobby has one too. There we go. Turn it off, put it away. Knock the sawdust off. Okay, so see how we didn't splinter the back of it. All right, we're going to take our little wire. All right, and we're going to take our needle nose pliers. Now, I do have some that are perfectly round, and I can't find them anywhere, but our flat nose will do just fine. We're just going to make some curly cues. Okay. The reason I don't like the flat nose is it kind of gives it a triangle look, but it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. Add our wire, kind of give it a curve. Now, before we put our wire on, we have to add some beads. So let me tell you about my beads. They too came from Hobby Lobby, but I bought them in a garland, and I just deconstructed the garland, and I put all the loose pieces in Ziploc bags. So now I bought their 70 inches worth of beads. So I bought a black, a multicolor, a white, the red. I bought all the ones that I typically use. So I'm going to get 2 black ones, 2 neutral. And I'm going to pick up an orange one. In my multicolor one, look at how much I spent. This was part of my Hobby Lobby haul the other day. I only spent $5, full price on that. But I got it 50% off because this was part of their Christmas sale, because this is a Christmas garland. All I did was I took it off the string. So I got it for half of that because it was a half off sale. So I do anytime let's see, we have this orange. What color orange did I use? Oh, we could use either one. I used the pastel orange on this one, but I think I'm going to use the darker orange on this one because it really does match his nose. So I bought the black, I bought the white, the ones on my snowman that I showed you earlier, the ones that are squishy that look like snowballs. There's one that it has those, and I want to say white beads on it. So I picked up that one, and I've been using the squishy ones like snowballs. So all we're doing is we're just stringing on our beads. And I'm just putting them in a pattern, just like we learned in first grade. And we're going to go through the back, through the front, and we'll give it a little curly cue. I'm going to curl it about one. There we go. Okay. Give it a little tug. And then shape up my wire. Ta-da! Now, I don't use this wire on my door hangers. I use fencing wire on my door hangers. If I use wire, sometimes I use jute twine, but sometimes I like to have wire because I want to put beads on them. And I use fencing wire. But for my ornaments, I do like to use the jewelry wire from the craft section at Hobby Lobby. Now, we have options. We have, on this one, we have a sunflower. Okay, so you see what the sunflower looks like. I also have little mums. Okay, so this came from Hobby Lobby over in the fall section. This is also 50% off, so I paid half of that. Same with this. These are a little bit more expensive because they're considered for scrapbooking. Scrapbooking is always more expensive. But these, I think I paid like $3.50 for this whole pack, and I can get 9 ornaments out of this for that whole pack if I used only these. So should we do mum or should we do sunflower? Put your vote down in the comments, mum or sunflower. And while you're putting your vote down, don't forget if you want to know anything about anything that we're using today, whether it be where you can get the wooden blank to order any wooden blanks from size 4-inch to 24-inch, or where you can find the template for this, or the paint list. Remember, at the very end of it, I always put the paint colors of every color that we used today. Put the word Scarecrow down in the comments. So we've got sunflower and mum. And I think if we use the mum, we'll use the sunflower color, right? Just for one, because it'll contrast. These are too dark. You really wouldn't see them. So I think we will use the mustard color mum. I think the mum is pretty too. I do. The sunflower is classic though. That's why I'm like, it could go either way. It could go either way. All right. It looks like everybody's picking mum. I think the mum too. So let's go with the mustard color mum. Throw that away. All right. So these have little stickers on the back. Okay. I am going to use that. You could also just rip it off. Okay. It doesn't matter. You can just rip it off if you don't want to use it. In fact, you know what? I think I'm just going to rip it off. And then hopefully our glue tool is still hot enough to where it's going to give us some glue. Because I did turn that off. I turned it off, but it doesn't take but a second to warm back up. So we're going to put the mum on. And then our Scarecrow is done, y'all. And I think I like the mum. I think I like it better. Pop that back on and turn it back on. It'll take just a minute for that to... Look how cute. Oh my gosh. He's cute. Okay, so right now, I like to display ornaments, if it's not on a Christmas tree, on my little pedestal that I made. This right here is the top of a fence post. It's over in the fencing department of like your big box store, Home Depot, Lowe's, all the things. This is just a 4x4, okay? And this is just a short, like what you would put underneath an ottoman foot. I also bought that at the big box store. And I just hang my ornaments on them in my little display. I just painted everything white and wood glued it all together. Nothing fancy, you know. So I think this is going to be replaced by our little Scarecrow man. Look how cute he'll look on our little pedestal. He's going to be super cute. All right, let's see. Yep, we're good. I knew it wouldn't take but a minute. And we don't need but a dollop. Dollop of daisy. Boop. And we're just going to push that down. Don't worry about the little strings. They pull off real easily, just like hot glue on anything else. Hurry. I love it so much. He's cute. I love a good Scarecrow. I mean, it's not fall without a pumpkin. It's not fall without a Scarecrow. Wholeheartedly believe that. It's just not fall yet. Yes, ma'am. It is only 4 more days until pumpkin night light.
We really need to hurry.
We really do. Oh my goodness. Good thing we plan to do your pumpkin tonight after we eat dinner.
Mama, I think I'm doing my pumpkin right now. First, I'm doing my pumpkin, then we're going to plan it out. Well, I'm going to plan out in night times and how you're going to picture me going.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do it as soon as I'm done here. And I am like just on the brink of being finished.
I think I'm really good at picking, bears.
I think you are too.
I'm girl, boy. Girl and boy.
Oh, so that one's the girl and that one's the boy.
So
do we agree with Raylan? Is that a girl and that a boy?
So, mommy. So
yes,
that can
ma'am.
So that can be Hayden and that can be me.
Oh, look at you. That's a great idea.
Mommy,
yes, ma'am.
It's okay you put some hair like up here and put it right there.
Yeah, we can do some little hair right there. How about we do that later?
Yeah.
Okay, let me finish. All right, so to recap before we finish up, we took a bare piece of wood like this and we traced on a tracer And then we painted all the things and we went step by step on how to paint from bare wood to finished product. And then we added, we did our shading, we did our eyes, we added some buffed on cheeks, we gave them a little bit of blush. We added our hanger and some beads. And I told you a really cost effective way to find your beads if you want to make one on your own. And then we added a 3D embellishment without having to have 3D pieces, right? So if you have it, like I said, last chance, if you have any questions on where to find anything to build this from bare wood to finished product, put the word Scarecrow down in the comments and I'll bring you a link buffet after I go live of where you can find every single thing, including the paint list of all the colors that we used here tonight. So Becca says, hello, Raylyn. My grandma used to hang decor from her door. You know, my granny did too. She always had like little pillows that she had like little tassels that she would hang on doorknobs. I never understood it, but now I do. Like now with my ornaments, I kind of get it. And I kind of put every once in a while I'll hang something on my china cabinet door knob. Like there's a doorknob that's about eye level, and I'll hang something on there during the Christmas holiday. I see. I know what I'm putting on my Christmas list. Tools. Sandy, yes. Okay, so two things that I highly recommend that are not cutting tools. Okay, so a jigsaw if you're going to cut out your own blanks, but if you're not going to cut out your own blanks, I highly recommend this fan. Oh my gosh, at my paint desk because it clamps. It clamps onto the edge of my table, and it sits up, and I can face it down at my project and help dry things as I'm painting. So I've used stuff like this at retreats to help dry time when we can't have a million blow dryers going on at a time. I have brought a smaller version of this fan and have so this is like a really inexpensive one. I think this was $20, but worth every penny of the $20. And Ryobi always has a Black Friday sale. So y'all keep an eye on the Ryobi Black Friday sale. And then this this hot glue tool, this specific one. Okay. And I'll tell you why I recommend this one over they have two other ones, but I recommend this one, the one with the base. One, I think it's cheaper. Two, I like the fact that it has the drip tray. Okay. That is gold in itself. Nobody has ever said, oh, I love how my glue tool just drips all over the place when I'm not using it. Nobody's ever said that. I do like the fact that the battery is attached to the base and not the tool. The other ones are attached to the tool and it makes the tool heavier and it makes it really bulky. This right here stays on the table. The only thing that, like, if I had a con to this thing, you have to sit it just right for it to stay heated, to stay charged. Because if this thing gets put off kilter a little bit, like if you just kind of sit it like this, it's not charging. It's not seated right, and it won't stay hot. So you'll lose your charge. But other than that, I love it. It's my favorite battery operated glue tool for sure. Yes, on the fan and yes, it's the best one. So also don't forget about this is worth its weight in gold, even though it's very, very, very light. So I'm gonna add some weight to it. All right. So if you have any questions on how to paint ornaments, where to get all the things, put them down in the comments. After the live is over, I'll come back and I'll answer them. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.